Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everyone. Lanny, Bert, you know us by now, the Dividend Diplomats. Today we are going to ask a very simple question. Is it time to buy Pepsi? Let's find
Now,
out.
before we find out, smash that subscribe button. Get us to 13,000 subscribers. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you're a dividend investor or if you just love watching the dividend diplomats here go at each other on a dividend stock investing video, baby.
That's what it's about. Everybody, before we jump in, though, another attempt. I'm trying to test on a new microphone here. So let me know in the comments below. Sound great? I know if it sounds bad, you are going to let me hear about it. You guys have no problem telling me when my audio is terrible. So if you like it, let me know, and then just give us a thumbs up, because please help us just get to that 13K subscriber mark.
So guys, we're checking out Pepsi, a great dividend stock for your dividend stock portfolio. They've been pumping a passive income stream, growing it every single year for over 5 decades, Bert. And they had a pretty darn solid fourth quarter in 2021 results. What did that net revenue growth actually look like, my man?
Yeah, it was insane. Their net revenue growth in that quarter was 12.4%. Stretch it out there over the year, it was 12.9%. So their revenue is growing strong. The best part of it is for that full year, it's translating to the bottom line as well, because their earnings per share over that full year jumped up 7%. Didn't have a great fourth quarter. It's okay. Overall, for the full year, though, earnings were up 7%. Revenue was up 12%. Guys, Pepsi continues to crush it. That's the story right there.
And we all know about the Pepsi brands. You've got Pepsi, even though we both choose Coke every time in case we had to, choose one over the other. But you've got the Tropicana, you've got Frito-Lay, all those Dorito chips that are being purchased. Obviously, they're water brands, they're other, drink beverages. They are a beast in this industry.
Yeah, so strong revenue, strong earnings, strong brand recognition, and that differentiator compared to Coke, that snack line business, which we love. That's why we always say we like Pepsi stock. That's why we're looking today to see if they're undervalued. But also, Laney, there's another hidden reason why I want to take a look here at Pepsi, and I'm happy you brought this stock up when we were brainstorming. I'm approaching the over 1 year mark for buying Johnson & Johnson every week, where we add one share. We're evaluating now. We're looking at the position. How large has Johnson & Johnson grown to our overall portfolio? We're just seeing if there are any other great dividend kings like J&J to continue that trend. Maybe replace Johnson & Johnson, find another stock. So let's see if Pepsi fits that bill too while we're going through this analysis.
Exactly. So, Bert, this is going to help you decide if you keep buying Johnson & Johnson stock each and every week, or if you change the game, flip the script, and start buying that Pepsi stock on Mondays now instead.
Let's see. And how are we going to evaluate Pepsi, Lanny?
We're going to go to Walmart, go down the snack aisle, and see what brand of chips is still left on the shelf.
Yeah, and if there are no Pepsi chips left or Frito-Lay, sorry, we're then going to run them through the Dividend Diplomats dividend stock screener. That has 3 simple metrics, and that bonus metric 1, that PE ratio less than the S&P 500. Number 2, that payout ratio, where we look at it to be less than 60%, but that perfect payout ratio is 40% to 60%. 3, put that 3 on a platter right there. You throw the Darius Miles throwback, number 3. We talk about that dividend growth history, where we look at the 5-year average dividend growth rate and how long a company has increased that dividend. And that bonus metric, Lanny, the dividend yield.
And guys, I would argue that Pepsi could be one of your foundation dividend stocks as you pursue financial freedom, simply because of all of the strengths that we just talked about. So if you're a new investor and looking to buy individual stocks, buying Pepsi almost is never a bad thing. But Bert, what's Pepsi done from a stock price standpoint this year?
It has not moved year to date. It has not moved at all. Actually, okay, I lied. It is up 0.09% year to date. So 0.09, aka it hasn't moved anything. That rounds down to 0. It's stuck in neutral. Stretch that out over the 52 weeks, though, 21% growth over the last 52.
So they've performed better than the overall market, because the S&P is down over 6% this year, and they were up over the last 52 weeks, only up 8+%. So Pepsi has definitely outperformed the stock market.
Yeah, so let's jump in to this stock screener. Prices are going to be as of April 8th, 2022. That's the Friday, the last trading day here before we recorded this video. That first metrics, the price to earnings ratio. Pepsi's close price on April 8th was 173.13. Man, this could potentially be a nearly 1-for-1 swap here for Johnson & Johnson, who's in the 170s as well. Pepsi's forward EPS is $6.66. That gives you a PE ratio of 26x.
Exactly, 26 times earnings, pretty much right in line with the S&P 500. But Bert, dive into your favorite metric, that dividend payout ratio for Pepsi stock.
Yeah, Pepsi's always funny because they announced the dividend increase in February, but it doesn't go into effect until June. So depending on the source you look at, it doesn't look like that dividend increase is reflected. After they announced that increase, it is now $4.60 annually. So that's what we're going to use here when evaluating Pepsi's payout ratio. Divide that by the 666 earnings per share, gives you a payout ratio of 69%. So, a little bit above that 60% threshold that we use.
That's a little bit on the higher side, not a risk of a dividend cut, but there could be risk for future dividend growth, possibly with Pepsi stock. Not alarmed by the payout ratio, just more of just know what you're getting into in case they can't pass on these rising costs onto the consumers to keep their earnings per share growing. So to get in though, it's that third metric, that dividend growth, brother. 5 years, 7.47%. I love that. That is so consistent, so solid, almost like it's a Johnson & Johnson stock. And they've been doing it for over 50 plus years. So they are a dividend king as well.
That history is fantastic. There's nothing really more to say. The numbers speak for themselves. Let's look at that dividend yield, that bonus metric. Their yield after that increase is going to be 2.66%. So double the S&P 500.
And I think it's also higher than Johnson & Johnson stock at the moment, Bert.
Man, two dividend kings going head to head right here. I love it.
However, check the blog because we did, Bert put out an article on expected increases, and one is from J&J. So we'll have to see what the yield looks like after the Johnson & Johnson dividend increase.
Oh, good point, Lanny. Great point. So everybody, let's summarize here. P ratio 26, payout ratio 69%, 5-year dividend growth rate 7.47%, 50 years increasing that dividend. That makes them a dividend king. I got to bend down here for a second. And lastly, that dividend yield 2.66%. So there are two questions we came into entering this video. One, are we buying Pepsi today? And then I threw in that second question of, am I going to replace Johnson & Johnson's weekly purchases in my portfolio with Pepsi? So let's start with that first question. Lanny, are you buying Pepsi this week?
No, I will not be buying Pepsi, not because they're a bad stock. I already do own a good amount of Pepsi stock, slightly on that tipping above that overvaluation standpoint. Obviously, they've outperformed the S&P 500. So that kind of, showcases why they might be slightly overvalued. But I think I'm okay. I think there's better undervalued dividend stocks out there in comparison to Pepsi. But if you're a new investor looking to buy individual stocks, Pepsi's a great company.
Couldn't have said it better myself, brother. I agree right there with you.
What about
Same
you?
thing. Not buying Pepsi this week. So let me move into that second question. Am I swapping out Johnson & Johnson for Pepsi? No, I'm not doing that either. Very much in the same reason. Johnson & Johnson, dividend king. We talked about how the metrics are almost aligned right there. Different sectors, obviously. Both fantastic long-term dividend growth stocks. I'm liking Johnson & Johnson's valuation metrics a little bit better than Pepsi, though. And I'm enjoying continuing building J&J. To your point, not a bad beginner stock, just not for me right now.
Not swapping out the pharma with the consumer goods company. Okay, well, guys, what are you doing? Are you buying Pepsi stock right now? If you were to pick Pepsi versus Johnson & Johnson, what dividend stock are you buying right now between the two?
And everybody, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, give us that thumbs up. Everybody, let's get to financial freedom together. That's what this is all about.
Guys, you heard it here from the Dividend Diplomats. That was Bert and Lanny, over and out.